Alright, back for the next episode. Hell yeah. We're on. We're going. We're going to the ball. Yes. I don't know if anything's gonna happen at the ball. I kind of want there to be some kind of plot point, even if it's whether it's like some big dramatic thing where Aslan has to save her, or just a full-on confession would be nice. But I kind of also think, for prediction-wise, that maybe she will be sent home, but then she will somehow remember him. I don't know, we'll find out. Anyway. I place a hand over my racing heart and take a few deep breaths. I look over at my surroundings to see long, spanning hallways, which seem like they sprouted straight from the pages of a storybook, and I can't help but catch my breath. As I look down, I catch sight of a beautiful, shimmering ball gown that looks like it was made out of stardust itself. If anyone told me I was dreaming right at this moment, I'd believe it. I'm waiting for Aslan in the hallway of a beautiful castle where the supposed Starlight Ball is currently underway. As I catch my reflection in a nearby mirror, I recall the moments leading up to this. A pink penguin whizzes by me left and right with more speed than I've seen her already display in my life. Her eyes shine brightly as she brings up her wand and to spin in the air.
On second thought, I think an updo would look best on Luna. Oh! And a pink dress would look amazing. Make it pink! Make it pink!
I still think a nice blue would look elegant and refined. It could match Master's suit.
Match? Ugh, what is this, a school prom? This is a magic ball, Marlo.
And what's wrong with colors, with matching colors?
Agatha chuckles as she eyes me sitting on a small stool in the middle of the room. I fidget with my hands as the two discuss how to dress me up for the ball tonight.
Now, you two. For a celestial occasion, don't you think a shimmery stardust would be more suitable?
Oh, that's even better than pink. You always had an eye for style, Master Agatha.
I concur. That does sound like it would be quite fitting for the event.
Guys, you three have been discussing for like 2 hours now while I've just been sitting here. Don't I need to try this dress on or something to make sure it actually fits me?
Luna, honey, sweetheart. Magic.
But the only reply I get is a hearty laugh from the elderly witch as she walks towards me with her hands on her hips.
Oh, not to worry, my dears. It'll be a perfect fit. I guarantee it. Now stand up for just a moment, would you please?
I rise to my feet, tilting my head slightly in confusion. But before I can ask, Agatha raises a hand in the air, and I feel a wind beginning to swirl around me at once. A glimmering sheen envelops my entire body from neck down, and before I know it...
Oh my god, she's gorgeous.
The clothes I'd been wearing have been transformed into a stunning silver floor-length ball gown. I stare down in awe at the luscious hoop skirt of the dress and pinch it slightly in my fingers. The entire dress itself is also dotted with thousands of sparkling crystals. Whether they were real or magic, it looks like a sea of twinkling stars as the fabric moves and catches the light. This is absolutely amazing. I've never seen something so beautiful in my entire life.
Ho ho ho, isn't it? It took me quite the number of years to perfect that spell, I'll tell you. The last time I tried it, why, the poor dear wearing it was left with only pumpkins for the late evening. Alright, cool. I figured we would be fucking referencing Cinderella.
Thank you so much, Agatha. I never imagined I'd get the chance to wear something this gorgeous. You and your magic are so incredible. I don't think I could ever believe any of this unless I was seeing it with my own 2 eyes. I'm sorry if I sound like a broken tape. Wow! It really is. It's like a real fairy godmother came into my life.
Oh ho ho, fairy godmother. Good heavens, that's something I haven't been called for a long, long time.
And you're very welcome, my dear.
You look absolutely breathtaking in it, if I do say so myself. Ho, you'd make for quite the beautiful princess indeed.
A light blush heats my cheeks at the genuine compliment. I giggle and can't help but twirl around, watching in delight as the layers of soft tulle and gossamer sway with my body. I really feel like I'm dreaming. Agatha, how can I ever repay you for this?
My, such a gracious child you are. As for payment, I want you to please allow my dearest grandson to escort you tonight. And for you to just enjoy yourself for the evening. That's all I truly ask for in return.
Deal. It's a promise then. You're so beautiful! Just like a princess! If Aslan doesn't confess his undying love to you, then I will!
Yes, you do look quite lovely, Luna. Very lovely indeed.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Now, remember just to let loose and have fun, alright? Opportunities like this only happen once in a lifetime, after all.
Of course. Thank you once again for everything, Agatha. I look to Agatha one last time and shoot her a grateful smile.
Okay, I'm gonna take a drink now because I don't want to interrupt the Aslan seeing her moment.
Back in the castle, I can't help but bite my lips suddenly feeling self-conscious about the ordeal. Magic dress or not, do I really look okay? Watch me be completely in over my head here. I shouldn't technically even be here because I'm a human, right? Did I really think this through?
Excuse me, princess. Were you perhaps waiting for someone?
I break out of my trance when I hear a voice suddenly call out to me. I turn my head, only to find Aslan standing behind me.
Damn.
However, as my gaze meets his, I can feel my breath hitch and my heart stutter. He's not wearing his usual wizard robes anymore, but a regal silver suit that matches my own gown. His hair is also done up differently with a neat braid pleated down the side. The soft pink strands of his bangs delicately frame his face, making him look like what I can only describe as a prince from a fairy tale. Aslan chuckles as he takes a dramatic bow. His eyes twinkle mischievously, almost as if he's enjoying playing his princely part. Aslan...
My apologies, Luna. I couldn't help myself. Was it too much? I must say, though, you really do look like a princess tonight. Grandmother really outdid herself this time. Though, I suppose, the magic gown only enhances all the wonderful beauty already there. Oh, stop it, fucking sweet nerd.
I can feel my face positively steaming as Aslan takes my hand and plants a light kiss on the back of it. He looks up from under his bangs with a gentlemanly smile, and my mind short circuits. You look beautiful too, okay? I mean, handsome. You look handsome. This is not what you... It's not like you don't always look handsome. It's just,
Thank you, Luna. In truth, I'm not particularly used to wearing extravagant clothing like this, but I suppose it's alright once in a while. And most especially if I get to see you like this as well.
I'm sure Aslan can clearly see how bright red my face is. I open my mouth dumbly, but no words come out. Aslan chuckles at my flustered reaction and squeezes my hand as he takes it in his, encircling our fingers together.
Now then, the party's already in full swing inside. Shall we?
Aslan nods towards the large, opulent doors leading to the main ballroom that are closed in front of us. I gulp. My previous nerves about the night suddenly resurface as I grip the hem of my dress nervously. Wait. I'm gonna be honest. It's my first time attending something like this, so I'm not really sure what to do or how I should act. Should I even be here? Are you sure this is okay?
I'm sure we'll be just fine. My grandmother wouldn't send us dressed up to something like this only for us to get turned away at the door. Rather, if I'm being honest, I get the feeling this was planned long before we caught word of it. But that'd be nothing new coming from her.
Despite Aslan's attempt at reassurance, I still can't but feel hesitation ring out. Part of me wonders if it's solely from the nerves of attending this party, or if it's just my way of delaying the night in general.
However, before I can think on it too much, I feel a warm hand gently lift my chin and I gaze into shining emerald orbs once again. And regarding it being your first time coming to something like this, I'm afraid we're in the same boat here. It's not like I've attended such events myself either. But it would be quite the honor to do so with you by my side. Or... Aslan suddenly brings his face close to mine as he leans into my ear and whispers, "What do you think? Shall we just run away together, Luna?" My heart throbs in my chest as I look up at him in disbelief. I almost catch a melancholic gleam in his eyes before he bursts into laughter. I'm kidding, of course. We'd be in quite the trouble if we did. So, instead... What do you say we forget about what tomorrow might hold, and enjoy ourselves tonight for a change in pace? Aslan reassures me with an earnest voice and places a hand on the small of my back. The warmth from his touch puts me at ease ever so slightly. Well, I suppose when you put it that way, it doesn't sound too bad. I trust you, Aslan. I nod, and Aslan smiles at my words as I place my hand in his. The heavy doors open on their own as we approach, and the two of us walk into the room hand in hand. Once we stepped inside the main ballroom, a small gasp escapes me at the sight before me. The grand hall is filled with people dressed in elegant gowns and tuxedos, either dancing or standing off to the side mingling. When I look up, I see large crystal chandeliers and candlesticks alike floating in midair above our heads, casting the whole room in a warm, inviting light. Wow! Check this place out! It's incredible! The chandeliers are floating! You've been to several worlds and have seen countless fantastical sights by now, and yet you're still as amazed as ever by the simplest things. Well, geez, sorry. I wasn't raised around floating magic penguins and enchanted forests, so everything is new to me, okay? Oh, no, you misunderstand me. I only meant that your reactions never cease to amaze me, Luna. After all, I find them quite adorable, to be honest, truth be told. Oh, that's what you meant. Right. Oh, I mean, never mind. Please forget I said anything. I can't but softly smile as I watch Aslan clear his throat. The tips of his ears turn a bright red, offsetting the incredibly charismatic. Why can't I read? Demeanor he showed just moments ago outside of the hall. As he fumbles awkwardly with his petticoat, I feel a genuine warmth fill my chest as a smile makes his way onto my lips. Okay, I know petticoats are like underskirts for ball gowns and whatnot. Is there a men's, like, piece of clothing that's called a petticoat? Huh. He can be awkward, even a bit nerdy. It's almost as if he's caught up in a world of his own at times, but maybe it's the side of him that I relish seeing the most. The real him. Just then, the orchestra floating in the back begins to play, and a new song fills the hall. The atmosphere around us changes as the other guests begin to pair off and make their way to the center of the grand room. Oh, are they starting a new dance? Yes, it appears so. I was assigned the task of escorting you tonight, and I do believe I'll be asked for a full report once we get home. Oh, no! So, what do you think, princess? May I have this dance? Aslan turns to me with a nervous glint in his eye. He bows slightly and offers me his hand. Yes. Oh, play along. Tease him or play along. Ooh. I shouldn't tease him, right? No, I shouldn't tease him. Let's play along. I can't but giggle to myself, easily sensing his nervousness, but I don't hesitate to take his hand, flashing him a matching smile of my own. It would be an absolute honor, my prince. Prince? Oh goodness, that's actually a little embarrassing to hear out loud. Well, you're the one who started it. Now you know how I feel. Don't dish out what you can't take, mister. But I meant it. You really do look like a princess in that sparkling dress. My princess for the night, of course. As I laugh, Aslan gazes into my eyes for a bit, before a soft smile breaks out into his face, mirroring my own. Together, he intertwines our hands together, and I can't but realize how natural it feels at this point. Together, we head up towards the dance floor, and we find a small space to stand amongst a sea of invitees. I place my hand on Aslan's shoulder as one of his hands comes to the small of my back, and the other raises my hand. Asa brings our bodies closer, so close I can practically feel the warmth radiating off his body and into my own. And never looking away from each other, we allow the music to take us away, and we start to dance. And for a few minutes of stepping and twirling across the floor, the music slows down. The bright melody from before melds into a soothing waltz, and all the guests gathered down into a slow dance. I look around at the sea of other guests again as Aslan rocks me gently in his embrace. Hey, I'm just curious, but are all the guests here tonight, magical?
Oh, yes, they certainly are. Invitations to the Starlight Ball are only sent to the highest-ranking wielders of magic, and also the most prominent alumni of the Academy.
Oh yeah, I remember you guys mentioned some academy at the cottage, and it sounded like a pretty huge deal. And what's that all about, huh?
Well, I suppose to put it simply, you could say the Academy is probably the most well-known institute of the magic arts that witches and wizards alike attend in order to learn and hone our skills. In fact, Philia, Merlot, and I all attended in our youth.
Oh, cool! Is it like Harvard for magic people?
Yes, I suppose that would be a fair comparison in your terms, yes.
Wow, so it's like it's really that big of a deal, huh? Wait, didn't you say you also were invited to join the faculty there? Doesn't that mean you're really amazing then?
Oh no, it's not a big deal, truly. I mean, my grandmother's the headmaster of the school, so I suppose it's only natural that I...
Wait, seriously? Agatha's a headmaster? Of a magic school?
Oh, did she not mention that? Well, yes, it's precisely as I said. When she's not hopping between dimensions with her extremely peculiar grocery lists or getting into mischief in the human realms, my grandmother actually does have a somewhat proper job done at the Academy.
She plays an important role in training young witches and wizards, along with tracking down dangerous foes who would threaten the peace of the realms.
She's quite amazing, really. Her guidance is vital to the entire magical community, though she is much too modest to ever admit it.
There's a hint of pride shining through in Aslan's
voice. Should be Aslan's voice.
And my awe only grows at the new revelation. Wow, I never would have imagined. But that's amazing. The Academy must be so fun. The students there are so lucky they get to learn from you two. Man, I'm arguably the last person alive to admit they'd ever want to willingly attend class, but if it's at this place, well, even I think I'd love to attend a class or two to see what it's all about. Maybe we can stop by later just to take a peek at it? It sounds so cool. I really, really want to check it out. Aslan's grip stiffens ever so slightly.
Well, I'm afraid only those who... I could be wrong, but this is slightly weird. Well, I'm afraid only those who, with the ability to wield magic, can ever see the Academy. So, forgive me, that would be rather difficult indeed.
Again, she has magic! Aslan tries to keep his tone light, but I realize my mistake at once and my mood immediately plummets. I drop my gaze and manage a meek smile. Oh, right, of course. What am I saying? I'm just a human, so of course it'd be impossible then. Duh. Luna, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Hey, what are you apologizing for? I mean, it's the truth. After all, I'm just a normal human girl. I don't have a place in any of this. Aslan opens his mouth to say something, but as the song drops to a slower beat, I can't help but pull him close to me in an attempt to hide my expression from him and end the conversation. As we continue to sway silently, I look around the hall again. Although on the outside, everyone in attendance looks just like a regular human, somehow, there's still an undeniably invisible wall separating their existence from mine. And no matter what I did, or how much I hoped or tried, that wall was completely and utterly impenetrable. Don't be stupid, Luna. You're just a normal girl. Just a normal girl pretending that you belong here. As my eyes land on the couple next to us, I can't but feel a lump form in my chest. The lovers only seem to gaze into each other's eyes with matching smiles from ear to ear that speak 1,000 words on their behalf. A part of me wonders how they met, how they found themselves here tonight. But a part of me realizes that even after the night ends, their magic spell won't wear off. They'll be a part of each other's lives forever. And for a moment, it feels as if it finally dawns on me. It occurs to me what I've been feeling since I set foot in this place. The only thing that doesn't belong in this beautiful, magical, ethereal place is me. All at once, it's as if the lock I had placed in my heart and feelings have finally broken. And all my fear and anxieties I had been trying my best to repress come crashing back in me full force. I feel my hands begin to shake as the hollow feeling in my chest fills with a deep sadness that makes tears spring to my eyes. Aslan seems to notice my shaking as he looks down at me. Luna, what is it? Are you all... Sorry, Aslan, I just don't think I can do this anymore. Please, excuse me. I turn away as my tears begin to streak down my hot cheeks. Luna, hold on. Aslan reaches out for me, but I twist away from his grasp and run out the ballroom without looking back. I have no clue where I'm headed or how long I've run. But eventually, after racing down countless hallways, I find myself alone on a balcony somewhere in the castle. The moon is shining high above in the sky, and its light shines against my tears that just can't stop flowing. I sink down against the cold stone railing as yet another uncontrollable sob racks my body. God, what am I thinking? What am I doing? What am I even doing here? I'm such an idiot. I'm such an absolute goddamn idiot. Overwhelmed by my own feelings and my own foolish expectations, ones I had swore to myself to keep in check tonight, all I can do is only cry softly as I wrap my arms around myself as an intense feeling of loneliness fills my entire being. The only thing that runs through my mind is a question. One single question. Where do I belong? It isn't back home. That much I know to be true. I'm not an important part of anyone's life there, nor do I have a single place where I feel like I'm truly needed. And even now, after meeting and spending time with people whose lives I so desperately want to be a part of, there is still no place for me here either. So where? Is there even a single place in this universe where I'm needed? Where I'm wanted? Where I myself want to be too? And why? Why can't it be here next to him? It's not that long before I can hear a faint, familiar voice from down the hallway halt my thoughts. Luna! Luna! God, I'm so pathetic. I can't let him see me like this. But luck is not on my side as the sound of frantic footsteps grow louder and louder, coming towards me. Soon, the door of the balcony burst open, revealing a panic-looking Aslan. Luna, are you alright? What happened? Are you feeling unwell? Please don't just run off on your own like that. Aslan comes forward and kneels down beside me. He reaches out, but I sink away from his touch. I quickly turn away and stand with my back to him. I take some deep breaths and hate how my shoulders still tremble as I do. Hey, Aslan, please, can you just leave me alone? I really just want to be alone right now. Please. I hear Aslan shift his weight behind me. I feel his hand gently reach out to take my wrist, but I still don't have the heart to turn around. I'm not going to leave you, Luna. So please, tell me what's wrong. Stop. Please stop doing this. What? I don't understand. But if I've done something wrong, then I'm terribly sorry. Allow me to sincerely apologize. Stop being so kind to me! I can't take this anymore. I can't! I can't pretend like everything is okay and that I'm not actually dying inside. I don't want to leave you, Aslan. And the thought of that all this, everything that we've been through together, is just gonna vanish tomorrow. It scares me to death, Aslan. I don't know what to do anymore. A fresh wave of tears bursts forth, and I bury my face in my hands to muffle my sobs. I don't want to forget you. I don't want to forget any of this, or the feelings I have for you. I love you. I don't even realize I've choked a confession out until it's too late. A long moment of silence passes. It's agonizing, and I'm about to walk away when suddenly, two strong arms wrap themselves around my shaking frame and hold me snugly and securely. I can feel the warmth radiating off Aslan's arms, seeping through my body, into my bones, and heating up my heart in a way that I crave so, so dearly. All I can do is melt into the embrace that engulfs me as Aslan leans down and presses his forehead against mine.
The times we spent together will never truly vanish. They will always exist, right here.
Aslan brings one of his hands up and holds it against his chest. I bring my own hand up I bring my own hand up to clasp over his as we both feel the sensation of his drumming heartbeat that's threatening to break as it mirrors mine.
Love it when my body is trying to interrupt a fucking touching sweet scene. And I will always be with you. Whenever you look up to the stars at night, or feel the breeze in your hair in the early morning, I'll be there. Right by your side, for as long as you live.
Aslan's usually calm voice washes over me like a wave as I simply close my eyes and squeeze his hand in mine.
And I told you, didn't I? Even if you forget me, I will find you. No matter where you may go, and no matter how many worlds I will need to cross to get there, I will come find you. And I'll love you again. Just as I love you right now.
With those words finally in the air, it feels as if a spell has been cast over us. A sense of calm washes over me, and time seems to stand still as I finally turn to face my beloved. And when we're finally facing each other, I notice the glistening of unshed tears shining in his own emerald eyes. No more words are needed, as we both understand, just through our longing gazes, how much we truly mean to each other, and yet how much that fact tortures the both of us.
Yeah, tragic love stories, that always gets me.
Aslan and I close our eyes and lean in at the same time. We allow our lips to graze each other before they're sealed together in an eternal promise. There are no more thoughts in my mind except for the man in front of me. The man who went through so much for me, and the man that loves me just as much as I love him. Our kiss deepens, and we both wrap our arms around each other, pulling each other as close as possible, to the point where we almost feel as one. Our bodies are so close, so impossibly close. Yet, I still need him closer. After what feels like an eternity, I finally pull away, breathless. Aslan, will you stay with me tonight? If this is the last night we can be together, then I want to be with you. Is that okay? I can't but feel a little nervous for being so forward, but thankfully Aslan understands the meaning behind my words. His fingers slide down my cheek, making goosebumps rise on my skin before they stop under my chin.
If I'm honest, then I too want nothing more. I'll stay with you until the morning, and whatever comes after that. I promise.
And with that, Aslan brings my face up for another kiss. For a moment, I can't but wonder if it's my imagination or the intensity of the emotions coursing through me, but it feels as if the moon and stars all around us seem to shine brighter. The moon was beginning its descent in the sky when I finally fell asleep in a spare room Aslan and I borrowed from the castle. I can still feel the warmth of Aslan's body laying next to mine as my consciousness slowly drifts off into the void. When I open my eyes, everything is darkness.
Okay, this is what I was wanting.
Darkness. Nothing. But complete and total darkness. But something suddenly flickers in front of my eyes. The fleeting light catches my gaze, and when I look up again, I see the faint glow of a familiar purple wisp. Excuse me. Is this A dream? Suddenly, the sensation of someone's eyes sends a shiver down my spine as I look around me. Who's there? The voice chuckles and the flame dances as if it's laughing along.
Fear not, my child. You already recognize my voice, do you not?
You're the one I hear in my dreams all the time.
That's right, and I have heard your wish, little firefly. Your heart's deepest, most desperate desire. You wish to change your destiny and gain the ability to wield magic, do you not? So that you and the man you love most will never have to part?
How do you know that? Who the hell are you?
Me? I am only but a dream. That is all.
A dream? Then this is a dream too?
That it is. And so will you, too, become one as well. Only but a fleeting dream, all but forgotten. After all, a mere human can hold no place in a wizard's heart. As it stands now, all you will be is a long-forgotten dream. Can you truly bring yourself to accept such a tragic fate, my dear?
The voice pauses as if to wait for my answer. I try to open my mouth, but I can't seem to form the right words to speak, but the voice continues anyways.
If you can't, then come, take a step closer. All you must do is open your heart and touch the light in front of you. Yes, you see it, don't you, little firefly?
I see a spider web?
Shh, come, little one. Come into my web of dreams. Surrender yourself to me, and I shall make all those sweet dreams of yours come true.
I hesitate, but the purple flames intensify and draw me in like a moth to a flame.
You realize, don't you? I'm your only hope left.
All at once, it's as if my consciousness begins to waver. Inside the web, I see a picture of Aslan smiling back at me, with a woman by his side, resembling my silhouette. Aslan. Yes. I want to be with him. That's all I want. Please, help me. I want to be with him. More than anything. Somewhere in the darkness, I reach out my hand. But just as I'm about to touch the flame, something reaches out from the fire and grabs me.
Got you, a little firefly. Did more maniacal laughter.
The last thing I remember is the sensation of something wrapping itself around my throat and body, along with the echoing of maniacal laughter.
Damn, okay. Okay. Through a wizard's eyes. Does that mean we're gonna get Aslan POV? Because please. It's a bit of a shorter thing, but I think I am gonna end this here. Do I want to keep pushing forward? Yeah, I want to keep pushing forward. Actually, fuck it. I'm not gonna stop. Fuck it. You know what? I'm not doing Philly's voice. It's easier.
Aslan.
A voice cries out from the darkness.
Aslan.
A pleading tone, like a cry for help.
Aslan!
Why does it sound so familiar? Why does it make my heart ache so much? Why does it...
Aslan!
My eyes shoot open as I sit up at once. I realize I'm breathing heavily as my gaze darts around the dimly lit room around me. What in the world was that? A dream? What a terrifying sensation. What a terrible sensation. I can't remember the last time I felt such a thing. But whose voice was that? It sounded so familiar. I let out a small sigh of relief when I realized I'd just merely woken from a nightmare. Instead of the former looming walls of darkness closing in on me, I immediately recognized the interior of the castle room that Luna and I had borrowed for the night. Speaking of Luna, I glanced down at my side where I remember she had fallen asleep beside me.
but my heart stutters to a stop. Stutters with a start? When I find the spot cold and empty instead. Luna? The moon outside is still shining high in the sky from my view outside the window. I can't but frown, feeling a sense of unease sitting uncomfortably in my chest. It's still pitch dark outside, and we're still in the castle where the ball is hosted. Fuck, reading comprehension. Failing. Perhaps she got up to get some air or explore around? Yes, that's surely what it is. Calm yourself, Aslan. Before I have any time to react, a frantic knocking resounds through the bedroom door, and body reacts on instinct as I whip my head around at the source. Luna, if you need to step out, I would appreciate if you had told me before. My words cut off the moment I opened the door. I'm greeted by a different, unexpected face. Grandmother? I blink a few times, almost convinced I'm still in the middle of a dream. But from my grandmother's magical presence bristling in front of me, and from the uncharacteristically grim expression on her face, I realize with a cold sweat that this is no mere dream. Before I can utter a word, she pushes me aside and marches in my room. Aslan, where is the girl? Where is Luna? She's with you, is she not? My grandmother isn't even looking at me as her eyes slowly focus on scanning the dark room. She is. Or rather was. But it seems she had stepped out for a moment. I've only just awoken, so I was also... And it seems I am indeed too late. Grandmother cuts me off sharply as her eyes land on the empty bed left behind in the corner of the room. What? What are you talking about? Rather, wait, what in the world are you even doing here in the first... Aslan, listen to me and listen well. I need you to remain calm. The serious tone in her sage voice stops me in my tracks. The air around us suddenly feels like it grows cold as my grandmother lifts her head to look me straight in the eye. Blech. Luna has vanished. What? No, she hasn't. She was here just a moment ago alongside me. Surely she only stepped out for a... And that's when I finally sense it. Or more accurately, sense the absence of it. My heart nearly stops when I realize Luna's presence has indeed vanished. Throughout our entire adventure together, I've always been able to feel Luna, or better put, feel her presence, her aura. A kind, warm, and soft feeling that her very being radiates. Each living entity has a different aura, but hers is by far my favorite. An aura that reminds me of the sun rising in the sky full of stars at the earliest sliver of dawn. From long since before the moment we first crossed paths, I've always been able to sense her warmth in some way. However, right now, for the first time, I can't feel a single trace of her anywhere. All that's left where there was once a never faltering warmth is a cold, empty desolation. I don't even recognize I'm beginning to shake when I turn to my grandmother. That can't be, that's impossible. If she's not here, then where is she? In all honesty, I was sincerely hoping that you would know, my dearest. Unfortunately, I haven't the faintest idea either. However, truth be told, I did sense something a little off earlier tonight when I took her hand. It was only the faintest whisper of something that did not belong. But I was not certain back then. I chose not to pay it much mind. However, later in the night, I sensed it as well. Luna's presence suddenly vanishing, and so I came over as fast as I could. But it appears I was not fast enough. The growing anxiety within me begins to gnaw at my rationality, and I start pacing around the room, feeling myself grow more and more frantic by the second. This just simply isn't possible. Luna's just a human. She can't... Oh my god. Okay, maybe she doesn't inherently have magic powers, but she did use magic, dude. She can't use magic, so she can't conceal herself or just physically disappear like that. Why would she? I just don't understand it. How is this actually happening right now? If her presence is gone, then... Calm down, dear. Let us not jump to any hasty conclusions, shall we? It is in all likelihood that Luna is perfectly alright. But we need to get to the bottom of this, and quickly. If she has once again wandered into another realm she doesn't belong in, then there's no telling the dangers she may encounter. So, tell me, did Luna mention anything strange last night? Perhaps we can decipher some clues she left behind. I attempt to push aside my worries and clear my mind. I rack my brain, but as I replay the events of the night once again, but I can't think of anything. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best, but I can't think of anything that would lead to her suddenly disappearing like this. If anything, My voice trails off as I can feel crimson hues rush to my face, recalling the heated breaths and intimate whispers we shared with one another just barely a few hours ago. I truly thought our hearts were as one, now more than ever. I see my grandmother shoot me a sympathetic smile before she lets out a tired-sounding sigh. Then, in that case, we have no other choice but to do this the old-fashioned way, with tracing magic. Did Luna leave any personal belongings with you, my dear? As you well know, it can be anything. Even anything like a letter, a handkerchief, or an article of clothing, perhaps. What should I say? Shit. Feck. I mean, I guess it would make sense to say she did leave something? I don't know. There have been a few suspicious interactions I had noticed from Luna during the course of our adventure. As they came to light, I found myself nodding my head. I believe she did perhaps leave something behind that could serve as a trail for us to follow. Perhaps it was... She left behind Merlot! I'm so confused. I mean, the violet crystal is probably the fucking obvious answer, but I'm confused as to some of these fucking answers. It's fine. There we go. Back during our previous travels in another world, we encountered a strange crystal which reacted with Luna. I still don't know how it happened, but it somehow protected her from a beast we fought, and then suddenly, all its magical energy dissipated after that. A peculiar interaction to be sure. Perhaps this crystal is exactly what we need. Now then, you have it, right? Hand it over quickly. Oh, actually, I don't. We left it behind in the course of our adventure with another. I have no clue where it might be now. A pity, but without something tangible we can grasp, we're out in the cold. Is there perhaps an item of yours she had interacted with in the past? His cloak! Or anything that ties her to you that she could have left her presence lingering on? I rack my fingers through my hair, desperately trying to recall anything that fits that description. Then a faint memory suddenly hits me. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I understand Merlot. Okay. Oh, no, shit. Fuck. I'm gonna load that one. To see what happens if I click Merlot. It skips all the way here. Like, the only reason I would almost want to keep the purple crystal is because of the information. But, I'll stick with this for now. Perhaps Merlot himself. His pocket watch form, I mean. It was many moons ago now, but Luna had returned it to me when I accidentally dropped it. Many moons? How long has she been with you? It hasn't seemed like that fucking long, like a week at most. And that's what led to this entire situation in the first place. Grandmother nods and swishes her cloak with a flick of her arm. Well, it's the only lead we have at the moment, so it's definitely worth a try. Come now, Aslan. We must hurry. There is no time to lose. In a magical flurry, Grandmother and I returned back to her cottage without a moment to waste. The moment we arrive, she begins to make the necessary preparations at once by picking up a piece of charcoal and drawing out an intricate circle on the floor. The two penguins fly over, and Agatha fills them in on the situation.
Alright, everyone cool your jets, okay? We're definitely gonna find Luna if it's the last thing we do. Master Agatha, just tell me what I need to do.
I agree with Philia's sentiment of remaining calm, but I also can't but worry about Luna's safety. I will do all my power to assist as well. I'm yours to command, Masters. Thank you, my dears. Now, Merlo, if you would, we must make haste. Yes, as you wish, Master Agatha. Merlo bows, and with a flash of cobalt light, I'm reading in Luna's voice, haha, transforms back into his pocket watch form. Grandmother plucks it from the air and places it in the center of the circle, and it immediately begins to glow a bright blue. Now, Philia, retrieve the tomb and second from the left on the top shelf.
On it!
The pink familiar whizzes away on a trail of sparkles as my grandmother hurries around to collect our other necessary items. I know I should do all I can to help as well. I know I shouldn't be such a distraught mess at this moment, but my frustration simply feels as if it climbs higher with every passing second. To think that just a few hours ago, I was holding her in my arms. Okay, flashback time, cool. After passionately sharing our love together in the closest way possible, Luna and I snuggle together comfortably under the sheets. One of our arms winds around her while the other comes up to run through the silky strands of her hair. I hum softly as I relish the warmth of her skin against mine. That tickles! Luna scrunches her nose as a stray strand of hair brushes against her face. I can't help but beam and lean down slightly to press a kiss against her forehead. Are you feeling alright, Luna?
Yes, thank you, Aslan. Not just for tonight, but for everything.
Luna reaches up and cradles my cheek in her hand as she stares into my eyes with a genuine smile, one that I try my best to imprint in my mind.
Words can't really express how much you and everything you've done means to me. You always patiently listened to my ridiculous rants at the bar. You took me in when I had nowhere to go, and you've done everything in your power to keep me safe and get me back home. Everything we've been through feels like it's been a long dream. And honestly, I really don't want to wake up yet. But every dream must come to an end when morning comes, huh?
Luna bites her lip, but I see a quiet resolution shining in her eyes.
But you're right, Aslan. The times we shared will always exist inside of us. But until then, until morning comes, can you stay with me?
I lean my head down to capture her lips in a kiss. Of course, Luna. You will always be with me, and I will never leave you. I promise. I clutch my hands in my head. I think it's supposed to be head in my hands. As the memory of my last moments with Luna replay again and again in my mind. I promised her that I would stay by her side. I promised I'd protect her. Even now I can still feel the sensation of her in my arms. But to think I could have somehow let her disappear right from under my nose. If she truly was taken, no one else but I was to blame. How could I have let my guard down? How could I have been so foolish? Fool! Aslan, you absolute... You worthless fool! In a moment of blinded anger, I cried out at myself and my frustrations take a form of their own. A fireball accidentally shoots out from my hand and hurtles around the interior of the cottage. The ball of flames singes the brim of Philia's hat just as she manages to dodge out of the way, knocking down a few bottles from their rightful places.
Hey, Aslan! Jeez, buddy, what the heck was that for? You almost turned me into a penguin flambe! Which were you aiming?
The pink penguin yell brings me back to reality, and I realize what I've done at once as I stare at the mess in front of me. I'm so terribly sorry, Philia. Are you alright? I don't know what came over me, Aslan! Grandmother cuts in, her voice uncharacteristically stern. I raise my head and find the three others staring at me with expressions ranging from shock to confusion. Calm yourself at once, young man. How is it that you have forgotten the single most important rule of magic in but a mere moment? With wide eyes, I quickly realize my grievous mistake. I lower my head and cast my eyes to the floor. Embarrassment and regret swirl around my stomach as I slowly open my mouth. A sorcerer must never lose control of their emotions, lest it endanger the lives of all those around them. Please forgive me. All of you. I have no right to call myself a wielder of the magical arts in this state. Look, I understand your frustrations, dearest. I do. But this isn't the moment to be losing a hold of yourself like this. You are a wizard, Aslan, might I remind you? And you're certainly no amateur. But as it stands, all you're doing right now is distracting Merlot and Philia, whom I need with their utmost focus if we want to have any shot of locating Luna. If you're in no shape to help in here, then perhaps you should go collect yourself first. Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. I am grateful for all of your efforts, and I profusely apologize once again for the trouble I'm causing. I'll step out for some fresh air. Please excuse me. I ran a tired hand through my hair before I walked towards and out the front entrance. After the door shuts, Philia, Merlot, and Agatha exchange worried glances.
Well, I gotta say, that was a surprise. I've never seen Aslan lose his cool like that before.
Indeed. I've been by Master Aslan's side for quite a long time now, and I've never once seen such a raw display of emotion from him before. He is truly not acting like himself. I'm quite worried for him, and I pray that Luna is safe as well, wherever she may be at the moment.
But, you know, this only goes to show how much Luna means to him.
Yes, I believe you're right, Philia. Yes, and I do agree as well. So, that's all the more reason we must focus our efforts right now on tracking her down, wherever she may be. The seasoned sorceress pulls her lips into a thin line and snaps her fingers. Dwelling aimlessly won't do us any good. Back to it now. We don't have a moment to lose.
Right! On it!
I will do all I can to help too. Philia returns to her previous task while Merlot transforms back into his pocket watch form. Agatha turns back to her tome. However, she cannot quell the unease she feels twinge in her chest as she busies her hands back to work. Outside the cottage, my footsteps automatically take me back to the tree stump Luna once sat by a short time ago. I take my own seat beside the cluster of growing mushrooms and sigh for the upteenth time that day. I can't believe I really lost control in there. How utterly unsightly of me. I take a few deep breaths in an attempt to calm my agitated heart, but it's to no avail. All that's running endlessly in my mind is Luna and my failure to keep my promise to protect her. A great wizard, they call me. What a sham. I couldn't even protect one simple human girl, and now I almost injured a friend in a flurry of madness. What in the realms am I doing? I shake my head, wallowing deeper and deeper in my storm of despair. I raise my head to look up at the sea of stars above me, and my mind begins to replay all our adventures together. As I reminisce, it becomes harder and harder to imagine how I lived my life before her. A life solely dedicated to my tomes and research without much interest in anything else. After all, that was my life. My life before her. One dedicated to the magical arts, one filled with uncovering the mystical secrets of the realms. Going where I pleased, only chasing after dusty tomes and ancient spells. It was truly a life I'd sworn myself into believing was everything I'd ever wanted. How is it only now that I came to realize how empty I'd been all this time? How many centuries have passed me? How many countless days and nights rising and setting that I haven't even been aware of? To think all that would change when I met her. Meeting her really was a first for me. A first of many experiences.
Okay, so she's not home, but we can just wait a bit and she'll be back, right?
I sigh. Great. Just great. First, this fastidious human girl inexplicably walks through my portal, and now my grandmother is nowhere to be found at the one moment I need her. I wish it were that simple, truly. But, unfortunately, my grandmother only eats the eggs of a special breed of fowl that can only be found in another distant dimension.
Another dimension? Yep, And if I know Master Agatha, you never really know when she'll be back after she starts dimension hopping.
It can be hours, days, or even weeks. Time flows differently across all the worlds, after all.
So, that means, what exactly?
I exchange glances with Philly and Merlot as we take a moment to weigh our current options. After a brief discussion, we decide to try teleporting to a different realm and attempt to chase down grandmother for her help. I see the confused and helpless look on Luna's face and I soften. All I can do is flash her an apologetic smile. Truth be told, I am just as lost about the situation as she is, but I have to put on a brave face. Maybe my feigned confidence will help put her a little bit more at ease. Sorry to ask this of you, Luna, but since all of us will be traveling together this time, it's imperative we stick closely. And if this does indeed work, I don't want to risk us getting separated again. I promised I wouldn't lose you again, so... I bite my lip, wondering how the girl who honestly barely knew me would react. However, to my surprise, she nods right away and lets herself be embraced in my arms. I feel her press her body flush against me, and I try to ignore the heat rising to my cheeks. Concentrate on the spell, Aslan. She's depending on you. You must aid her. I flash Luna a reassuring smile before we recite the spell and everything turns to white. Septimus, Solitus, Memoranda. You can open your eyes now, Luna. I can't help but chuckle at Luna's iron grip around my waist and tightly shut eyes. I told her there's nothing to worry about, yet she was still clinging on so tightly. To me, flying was as natural as walking, so I knew we'd never be in any danger. But still, being able to see all sorts of different genuine reactions from Luna to everything that simply came natural to me never ceased to amaze.
Wow!
Maybe it's the stars above us, or maybe it's just a trick of the light. But I swear her eyes are actually glittering as she stares wide-eyed at the view in front of her. Look down. Luna complies, and with a breathtaking smile breaks out on her face. My breath hitches at the sheer wonder and excitement on her expression. Despite the spectacle of the stars above and town below, in that moment, there is no better view in my eyes than Luna's brilliantly lit up face, and I find myself completely mesmerized, unable to look away from her.
Amazing. Aslan, it's beautiful.
It is. I breathe out the comment and our eyes meet. Luna's eyes are clear as crystals as I stare into them, refusing to look away. My heart skips a beat when I notice her eyes flicker down to my lips for a second. But she looks away immediately, and I wonder if I just imagined it. I grip the broomstick in my hands. That must have been just my imagination. There's surely no way she would feel that way about me. Oh god, it really is a shoujo fucking manga and I love it.
Aslan, you're back. Are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
I'm fine. I had just transformed back into my human form after Luna kissed my accidental frog form. However, my mind was still in the midst of a daze as I could still feel the lingering tickle of her lips against me. She kissed me. She really kissed me. What does that mean? Does she truly... However, Luna's voice only brings me out of my musings.
I'm so glad. Thank God. You really scared me for a second there, you know.
It's like my body is acting on its own the moment I meet her gaze. In the next moment, before I even realize it, I suddenly wrap my arms around Luna's waist and lean down to capture her lips in a real kiss. If I wasn't sure before, then I was more than certain now. I had lived a relatively long life and encountered countless beings, human and magical alike. However, nothing has ever felt more right than having Luna pulled into my embrace in this very moment. The world around us melts away, and all my responsibilities and duties as a wizard and as her guardian fall away with it, leaving only the fact that now, in this moment, I am merely a man sharing a kiss with the woman I love. The moon shines high above us, but a spell has already been cast over my heart, one that both set me free and locked me in a new promise that would last the rest of my lifetime. Back in the woods, I'm still staring up at the moon that sits eternally in the sky. I ball my fist by my side and sigh, feeling the crippling impact of Luna's absence all over again. To think that one simple human girl could facilitate this level of change in me. How ludicrous is it to believe, and yet, how many things have I opened my eyes to alongside her in this journey? Before her, I never realized how brightly the stars shone, or how vast the ocean was, or how much love I was surrounded by on a daily basis. And most of all, before her, I sincerely never thought I would know how it felt to fall in love so deeply. After a soft breeze flows through the forest, I catch a glimmer of the mushrooms glowing alongside the banks. As each one shines and dims at its own pace, it's as if I'm watching new memories I created with Luna bubble up with each silent glow. Every moment that I've spent with her has become some of the most precious memories in all my years of living. And I'd be a damn fool if I let her slip through my fingers again. I feel a new resolve beginning to sprout forth, and I stare hard up at the sky. Encounters like this only happen once in a lifetime, and I will seize a future with her, no matter what the cost. I clench my fist and rise to my feet with a new sense of determination burning deep within me. Wait for me, Luna. I'm on my way. No matter where you are, I'll find you and bring you home. I promise. I turn back to head back towards the cottage, but the moment I take a step forward, I freeze in my tracks. Goosebumps rise on my skin and my eyes widen. I suddenly sense a presence, one that I recognize immediately. It was unmistakable, and yet something feels a bit off. I blink and slowly turn around. It can't be. Luna? Uh-oh. In the distance, half hidden in the shadows of the forest trees, I spot a lone figure step out after my call. When the figure seems to see it's gotten my attention, it slowly moves closer towards the clearing. I'm not good at remembering things, but I don't remember her eyes being purple. My heart pounds through my chest when silver moonlight washes over the figure and reveals Luna. Luna? Where have you been? At first, I can't believe my eyes. Perhaps I've fallen asleep in my spa and this is all a dream. But I don't get a direct reply. Luna simply smiles sweetly at me.
Aslan, I found it. I found someone who can help us be together forever.
What? Luna, what are you talking about? Rather, where have you been all this time? Where did you run off to? Once again, she doesn't respond with anything except that sweet, almost sheepish signature smile of hers. I let out a sigh of relief as my heartbeat begins to slow. Dude, you even said yourself something was off. Come on, dude. Luna, I have so many questions for you. But first, come on, you can explain inside. Everyone's worried, sick about you. I move forward to approach her, but stop again once I notice her image flicker and begin to fade. This isn't Luna, but an illusion. The image looks up into my eyes.
Find me, Aslan. You can feel me now, can't you? Find me, my love. Let's be together forever.
Luna, wait! And with those parting words, the illusion breaks and fades into a burst of purple fireflies that fly off into the forest. Although Luna is gone, I can indeed sense a trail of her presence leading away into the darkness. And I follow it without a second thought. Oh, you goddamn moron. Alright. Crossing the boundary between worlds, Luna's trail leads me to the familiar ruins of a realm we had previously visited in our adventures. This place again? No, somehow, something is different than before. I make my way down the dark tunnels alone this time, guided by the lingering traces of Luna's aura. They inevitably lead me to the same chamber we had found the mythical I almost said creature. Crystal in before. However, to my surprise, I find myself alone in the empty, dimly lit chamber. Odd. If I'm sensing correctly, the Luna appears to be located even further beyond this room, but there's nothing else here? Unless... I frown and raise my hand to cast a simple, revealing spell around the room. Sure enough, a hidden door begins to materialize on the opposite wall, and I rush over at once. I push to open it, but it seems to be shut tight by some magical barrier of sorts. A portum! I recite one of the unlocking spells in my repertoire towards the door. However, a glowing dark purple sigil immediately appears and repels my spell. Stubborn door. No. Wait a moment. I look again at the tightly sealed door and around the ominously silent room. Something is amiss here. Why would Luna even return here in the first place? How about ask how she could return here? If she doesn't have magic, she can't create her own portal. So how the why is a good question. I'm more questioning how, you know, since she's supposed to be a human girl without magic, but hey, you know, whatever. And the seal on the door is complex. Far too complex to be done by a mere amateur. Could there be something, or rather, someone else at play here? Wow, Aslan. It's almost like she gained magic powers earlier, and maybe this has something to do with that. You know, magic. Before I can even begin to process the implications of those thoughts, I hear a voice calling out from the other side of the door. Aslan? Aslan, is that you? My eyes widen and I immediately call back. Luna! Are you really there? Aslan, it's me. When I woke up, I was just locked in here. Oh my god, help me out of this creepy place. There's spiders, and I swear I saw a giant bat in here, man. Ah! There it is again. Seriously, this is not cool, bro. The corners of my lips ease into a genuine smile as I hear the familiar, silly complaints of the girl I love most in all the realms. But before she had briefly sounded unlike herself, but this was definitely my girl. No. Luna, hold on. I'm coming. Step away from the door for a second, alright? I take a step back and focus my mind. Summoning my power, I use one of the strongest unsealing spells I know. Sigillum? Sigillum? We're gonna go with that. Sigillum! The same sigil appears, but it's overpowered by my magic this time and shatters away. The door is violently thrown open at its hinges, and a strong, icy cold wind gushes out, blowing out all the torches in the room. For a second, there's only silence, with only the sound I hear being the frantic beating of my own heart. I take a deep breath and slowly walk through the threshold before me. Oh, I know there gotta be spider sounds. Oh. Why is it always spiders? Oh. Okay. Once I've walked through the doorway, I'm met with what appears to be a large room covered in silk and spider webs. This place... This is a magical tomb. But... whose? I see a wide set of stairs at the end of the room, barricaded by a large spider web. However, a figure standing at the foot of its staircase catches my eye. Alright. New outfit. Okay, cool. When my eyes adjust, I realize with a wave of relief that it's Luna. But she's donning a completely different outfit than I've seen her in before. Luna? Aslan, I'm so happy you came for me. Hearing her voice, I didn't even let her finish her sentence before I closed the distance and enveloped her in my arms. I don't know if I trust this. Do you know how worried I was, woman? Thought I was about to die. promise you never scare me like that again. Do you hear me? Please. Aslan? Aslan? Sweetheart. Lovely, sweet, kind, nerdy man that you are. Do you think she did this on purpose? You dumbass. She doesn't have magic. She can't get into another realm on her own. Like, the magic that she has is apparently borrowed, whatever. But apparently you refuse to acknowledge the fact that she even has borrowed magic. So, you're just... She's a normal human girl. How the fuck do you think she can get through a fucking magic portal? Aslan, you dumbass bitch. I pull back and she flashes the same saturnine sweet smile she had in the Enchanted Woods. Oh, Aslan. How in the world did you get here? Just what happened? And you're not hurt anywhere, are you? And where did you get those strange clothes? And I begin to bombard Luna with questions, but she merely reaches a hand and presses it against my cheek. And that's when I suddenly freeze in my spot. That's when I finally realize it. Despite the fact that Luna is standing right here in front of me, I don't feel her presence at all anymore. Or rather, it's almost as if the presence in my arms isn't... Luna? Luna's smile only grows wider, and she suddenly jumps up to plant a kiss on my lips. When she pulls away, the smile hasn't left her face. You said you were so worried about me that you'd die, right? Well, of course. You can't imagine how it felt waking up to find you missing from my side so suddenly. Do you love me, Aslan? Do you really, truly love me? I do. I love you more than anything, Luna. Then... Luna giggles and bats her eyelashes. When she gazes up at me, there's an unfamiliar, violent glint swirling in the depths of her eyes. Will you die for me? What? No! Oh no! Everything happens in a flash. The next moment I come to, I look down and see a violet crystal spike piercing me in the middle of my abdomen. I'm too shocked to process what just happened, too shocked to even feel pain. My vision begins to blur around the edges, and the only thing I see when I slowly raise my head is Luna's smiling face. Then die for me, my love.
Okay, that isn't somehow a bad ending. That's just meant to happen, okay. Damn it. I shouldn't have continued. Because now I have to leave it.
I'll try to get everything done in the next episode, which means if I did unlock the epilogue, it'll be, because this is the final chapter, so it'll be this, hopefully I've unlocked the epilogue, so I'll be able to do that, and the 2 bad endings, all in one episode, so there's that. This is also a longer episode that I've found a bit, and my throat is killing me, and I have other things to do, unfortunately, with my day.
Damn it.
Oh. Okay, I got my wish. The fact that, you know, something happened at the ball. I did get my wish. Granted, it wasn't, like, directly at the ball, but, like, kind of, yeah. Aslan's a dumbass, it's fine. Okay. Alright. Alrighty. I'm gonna leave now. Hope you had fun. Have a good, night, morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is for you. I'll see you next time. Later.